Okay, I'm barely up, and I am going back to sleep. So you just cut the shit out now. I love this camera though. I do. I do. I can tell my story. You can hear my story. I like this. That's neat looking. Nice. One of my favorite things about the new world, the new age, or whatever the fuck is going on here with all this technology, is the opportunities that you have to blend and mix shit up. You know, that's great. But I'm staying on the dream focus, so let me get back to where I once belonged in the dream. So in the dream, I'm having the same dream as I was having yesterday, except without the lady. There wasn't a lady there, but an old friend of mine was there. An old friend of mine that used to be the drug dealer, and then I kind of got with his wife after they broke up. Now there was no talking or discussing of that. It was very weird. It was like a drug dream because it's like you and this person are trying to get high, and now we're not going to school and we're missing the same day. Well, maybe it was the next day then. You know, I was saying yesterday you have the A and the B day at school, so then it would be A day. Does this actually track to? Let's see. Saturday night. Let's see. Monday an A day, Tuesday a B day, Wednesday an A day, Thursday an A day, Friday an A day. Oh, so it was the same. It was like the same day, but it was still going to school. But like the next day, I don't. Okay, so I don't know. It felt like it was the same day that I was missing. Still missing that day. I still have never been there. But I remember looking up into these trees and seeing light going through them, and I was watching a whole row of growth, like dark green leaves, just going and filling it. Um, there was a house that was in the middle of some woods that just appeared, and something was going on there, and there were some people that were talking about it because the locals or the natives of this place was terrified to go into this. I think you made it a roadhouse. I think you turned it into a roadhouse from telling me that, because I woke up and I read it. So it was like we have. I think the roadhouse is a hamburger place, unless you're talking about where Patrick Swayze fights the fucking guys at, or is that where? No, that was like a fucking a country club. Was the country club where nobody put baby in the corner, or was that also Roadhouse and they just danced? How long has it been since you've seen? I see. It already impacted my dream. I can't remember any of the other details. There was people I knew in it, and everybody was moving around doing stuff, and it was like they were telling me, and I was knowing what was going on. But there was a lot going on. Um, I'll probably come back with more.
Then he'll say some things that are completely wrong. Or sometimes he'll say something and I'll know the source got that.
Oh man, somebody's tearing into Robert Seffer. Let's see where this goes.
He doesn't mention it. He completely obscures where he got that from. Which, in a way, kind of rubbed me a little bit wrong, if I'm going to be honest. Look, let me give a few examples. So, Robert has a video titled Anthropology of Occult Secret Societies, and it is filled with mistakes. Literally, in the first 4 minutes, he says H.P. Lovecraft was a member of the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn.
No.
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 Never. It's a made-up tale. It's a total fabrication. The Golden Dawn was exclusively a British phenomenon. It kind of stayed landlocked. Maybe it went a little bit to France, and after it collapsed, yeah, obviously the collapsed branches extended out into New Zealand, more particularly, which is weird. But they're not the Golden Dawn after that. At least that's how he made it sound. That H.P. Lovecraft was like there at the beginning. But even if he did join one of the alternate orders or lodges, which one and when? H.P. Lovecraft literally spent his entire life in Rhode Island. I mean, there was that one point where he like moved to Brooklyn for a little bit, but he was a native of Rhode Island and stayed there pretty much his entire life. He never hopped on a boat across the pond and went to Britain to be initiated into a lodge of occultists. That's just not a thing you hear any Lovecraft biographer mention. To claim it as something is nonsensical. It seems like he's just adding Lovecraft as a member to make it be like, ooh, Golden Dawn is spooky and esoteric. But you don't need to do that. There's already a huge list of members, which you can illustrate and talk about and mention their ideas if you know them. You don't need to add other people randomly who are famous to give it more credit. And it's just, little things like that that kind of make me go, I didn't know half of the stuff, the random history and myth stuff that Robert spoke about. But if he's that sloppy with his occult knowledge, where else has he been a little sloppy-toppy? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And you may be thinking like, hey, whatever, who cares? Everyone makes mistakes. Okay, cool. Boy's gotta eat. He wants to make it exciting. I get it. But then there's the obscuring of some sources. Robert was one of the first people on the internet to talk about the Sabbatai V thing. 1666 Messiah. We all know the one. But he's got multiple videos on it, and in one, he draws connections. Sabbatai V to Jacob Frank, and then Jacob Frank to this order called the Order of the Asiatic Brethren. And that's good data he gives. He gives good data about the Asiatic Brethren, and the specific members, and how the specific connection from Sabbatai V to the Asiatic Brethren connected, like through who the actual people were, and a little bit about it. And that was good data, but that data is impossible to find because there's almost nothing on the Order of the Asiatic Brethren in English. It just hasn't been translated. Well, there is one way he could have found out about it. One person translated a bunch of stuff about the Asiatic Brethren. There's a guy called Frater Acker, who, if you're in the occult world, you might know. He's pretty famous. But even then, it's not like the occult world is one big thing and everyone online knows everybody. It's like, you might know who Frater Acker is, you might not know, but even if you did know, you may have missed the blog post where he mentions this. Frater Acker is a native German speaker, and he did some hard miles and translated a full PDF and released it online for free. It wasn't long enough to make a book, and it wasn't rigor enough to be published as an academic journal on the history of something, whatever. So he gave it to us for free. Frater Acker's a bro. He gave that PDF for free, and not many people know. I know I said he's kind of famous in the occult world, but still, it's like it's a niche thing. If only someone with a large following were to illuminate his work. And oh look, Robert did a talk on the Asiatic Brethren, and he's mentioning the Asiatic Brethren and all the links to Sabbatai V. And isn't this what Frater Acker said? How come Robert's not mentioning Frater Acker in the video or in the description? That's weird. Huh. Now, you may be thinking like, okay, whatever. He doesn't quote his sources, so nobody quotes their sources. Who cares? My next problem with Robert comes with whatever happens when he gets called out. We all know that he's well known for blocking people on Twitter. And it's Twitter. Who cares? It's a slop fest. Whatever. Big deal. But in one of Robert's videos, in the comments section, he gets called out by American Esoteric. American Esoteric, for those who don't know, is an actual Freemason and a proper esotericist, well studied in the classics. Go check out his channel. It's a fantastic channel, actually. He's talking to Robert in the comments section, and he's talking to Robert about his views on Freemason. Because, Robert makes certain claims about knowing certain things, and from the evidence there, it seems like American Esoteric was being civil, and then, boom, out of nowhere, oh look, Robert turned the entire discussion into an esoteric dick measuring contest. And it's like,
Wow.
Wow.
So cool.
So cool, Robert. You're a member of ancient secret societies?
Yeah.
No,
No,
you're not.
Because
Because I know exactly what society Robert is initiated into. For those of you who know, you also know. But for those of you who don't, and you're kind of ignoring the red flags, Robert Sefer is a neo-Gnostic follower of Samael Aun Vior. Now here's the thing as well. I don't got beef with Samael per se either. I've read some of his books, and I've even recommended some of his books in the past. But the Samaelians, as a group, are a different story. And it's kind of been concerning me recently. It seems every time someone online just mentions the word Gnosticism, there's always someone slyly just sliding in on the comments being like, you should read this, and it's like a link to a Samael book. And this is innocent enough, but I've noticed a lot of people online making esoteric claims, giving esoteric teachings, and it's all just Samael's Gnosis kind of repackaged to make it more palatable, and it's just, there's something about it that seems a little dishonest to me. Like all the Samaelians, they're all a little bit weird, a little bit, dare I say, fanatical. It's like they know you won't accept it if they go whole hog, so they gotta make the teachings more attractive than what they really are. Many don't mention the sexual teachings of Samael at first, or even that you have to accept it as the Kalki avatar or something, whatever. But it's like, they're just trying to, it's like they're trying to psyop people.
U.S. General from Harbor Freight provides high quality and advanced features at a fraction of the price. From roll cabs, carts, and accessories to tool organizers and part trays. Designed for every
IOP people to becoming.
Hey,
Samaelians
without realizing. Like you watch a Robert video and you hear the name Samael and you think, oh yeah, cool. And then the next, maybe you click on an Astral Doorway video and you see Samael again. You're like, oh, maybe who's this Samael guy? And boom, they've got someone paying fees for their lectures for a couple more weeks. And it feels like there's just all these people doing all these little subtle things to influence others to join Samael groups without realizing. They literally just dress themselves up as something different. I'm an anthropologist, I'm an esotericist. I'm just a Gnostic, bro. I'm just interested in past lives and astral projection. But they're actually not. They're all just Samaelian Gnostics playing a weird game. I'm not saying they're all in accord with each other, they're all like in one big group chat going, I'm gonna do this and then you do that. It's more, if you don't know who Samael is, you don't know, and so you don't notice it. But if you do know who Samael is, then you're probably a Samaelian, and if you see someone else doing something like that, you're not gonna call them out, you're just gonna nod your head and be like, congratulations bro, in the comments or something. If you're a Samaelian and you see someone online, preaching the good word, you're not gonna step on their toes. And I'm mentioning this because I feel like I'm the only person who notices. Has anyone else noticed this in the online occult scene today? Because I see people doing it all over, and I see Robert doing it a lot. He'll say a pithy one-liner that's spiritual and esoteric and deep, and I'll be like, isn't that a Samael quote? But he won't mention that he just directly quotes Samael. Or maybe he will mention Samael at another point in the video, but he'll wedge Samael in between like Krumheller and Mentek Chia, just so that you don't notice that he's just getting all this stuff from one source. For me, the real kicker was that message exchange between Kim and American Esoteric. This response from Rob is dripping, he's drenched, soaked in the same pseudo-Gnostic pride and
very catty, very arrogant, knows it all. I haven't seen his videos popping up in the feed in a while. Where you been, Robert? Love the ukulele, love the songs. They hit, they slap. Those who know.